back to the Power Hour, 24 minutes after the hour. We're talking to Dr. Eric Llewellyn and Jason Durkovics about Grown by Nature. If you've never tried them, you don't know what we're talking about here, obviously. Nutrients instead of supplements, and I really, really appreciate that. But the amounts in them are less than one would normally get in other vitamin supplements. And Dr. Llewellyn, there's a question I have here from a listener already that said, or Jay had a customer out in the Power Mall that wanted to know why the magnesium is only 4% of the recommended daily allowance. And why is that they are less than what you would see in other nutritional supplements?
Well, it's a very interesting question, and it's one that we get asked a lot about these sort of nutrients. The reason is essentially that the forms of magnesium sold are not sold as magnesium. They are sold as a chemical. And there's about 33 different forms of magnesium that form supplements, and you can probably imagine some are rather cheap and nasty and some are reasonably helpful. But you're looking at probably getting of these chemicals, when you, let me start again, when you get your magnesium supplement, it will say magnesium something. It may say magnesium chloride. Well, for your interest, there's only 11% of the magnesium in a magnesium chloride, so it may say 100 milligrams of magnesium. In fact, there's 11 milligrams, and because it's in this form, you will absorb very little of it. So there are about 30-odd different chemical forms, ranging from 5% magnesium up to about 30-40% magnesium, but they are still chemicals with no protein delivery system recognized by the body. So please do be aware you actually need to know the elemental value, or how much magnesium is in this magnesium supplement. So if I may be brief to answer your question, you will often find that, well, we've done the comparative studies to show that 100, 200, 300 milligrams, you may get something like about 10, 20, 30 milligrams of magnesium, but it is not in a form that can be absorbed by the body, so you have to reduce that by about a further 90%. So on about 100 milligrams of some forms of magnesium, you will get probably 2 to 3 milligrams. Now suddenly, when Grown by Nature are offering 30 or 40 milligrams, and you will absorb 85% of that, if this is not getting too technical, you can see that you get much, much more magnesium. The real reason is that you do not have to declare the elemental value on the label of actually how much magnesium or how much calcium or how much iron or how much mineral is in that chemical composition. Now, whatever you do find, if it says elemental value such and such, you can probably say you're only going to get about 10-11% of that, according to the British Pharmacopoeia and the United States Pharmacopoeia. So your 100 milligrams suddenly comes down to, on some of these mineral chemicals, to say 10%, and then you get 10% of that. So you think you're taking 100 milligrams, you're taking 1 or 2 milligrams. Does that answer your question?
Certainly does. Very good answer. That does explain it.
Well, we get some more cheaper ones. You're even talking about 5%. So for 100 milligrams, you may get 1 milligram. Now, the big thing I would just really like to say to people is, if you're taking this chemical composition, magnesium carbonate, magnesium citrate, whatever it is, what happens to the 90% or 95% that your body can't use? Well, it then goes into tissue because your body can't actually clear all that. And it does cause quite some negative effects within your body. And these chemical magnesiums, for example, they will slow down and deplete calcium, phosphorus, manganese, and so on. These are things that the public just don't know. Everybody says you have to take 2 calcium to 1 magnesium. This is rubbish, if you don't mind me speaking very openly, because you never find that in nature. In fact, the original calcium-magnesium ratios were done after the last war, or during the last war, and they were measuring what came out of cow's milk, not went into cows. What went into cows was 6 times the magnesium to calcium. But for some reason, we're using 2 calcium to 1 magnesium, and then the phosphorus, and then the vitamin D. All nonsense, Joyce, if you don't mind me saying. That's not how it works in food.